Okay, my dumbass didn't hit record, so here we are looking at part 2. Scott Jennings, CNN, CNN women, typical brain-dead CNN women. Not because they're women, they're CNN women, so they have brain-dead takes. And Scott Jennings is doing the Lord's work, and should probably be sainted for his patience.
That mean you can impede a law enforcement officer?
No. Except for Scott Jennings, who fires back at literally all of them at the same time.
But that wasn't the case on January 6th either, and they were pardoned. And just this week, they were marching down the street to the Capitol again. Why are you shaking your head?
Because this cannot be your
but no, I'm not saying
on January 6th.
I am pro.
Yeah, they're lighting shit on fire and attacking ICE agents, but January 6th. Is this not unbelievable?
Democrats said we're pro law enforcement. Today they say they're Gestapo witches.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
January 6th, all the Democrats get together and say, we love the law enforcement of our great country. Our great country is so great. We love our law enforcement so much. That was January 6th. January 7th, God.
I need to clip every single instance of, like, Tim Waltz, Hassan Piker, Ilhan Omar, AOC, using terms that are, you know, a little extreme, like Nazi, fascist, kidnapping, white supremacist. And it's like they just cheapen the actual definitions of those words by just trying to throw mud on people that they disagree with because they can't go head to head in an ideological battle.
Guys run over law enforcement with cars. They have no right to defend themselves. Is this not incredible? I think it's absolute cinema. One day they're pro law enforcement. The next day, law enforcement are Nazi soldiers that you need to get rid of.
Is it?
No, I will say the vast majority of Democrats are pro law enforcement, and we believe
not
that
vast majority.
Let me finish.
It's a plurality, but I would say it's not vast. Like, I understand that they're going to be more vocal, but it is like a 40% roughly that hate the police.
Stop. You agree?
Scott, finish. I do not agree. Let me finish. Many Democrats and the vast majority.
Someone just said, Nux, do you think ICE can do no wrong? How are you supposed to complain about ICE? Let me get this straight. ICE has a job to deport illegals. Anyone that obstructs justice needs to go to jail. Of course, ICE could do wrong on an individual level, but ICE is super important. Trump won the election on the mandate to deport illegal aliens. ICE's job is to deport illegal aliens. I want to see 10 million deportations by the end of Trump's term, okay? I want to see 10 million, all right? So far, there were 2.5 million, but only 600,000 of them were from ICE. The other 1.9 million self-deported because they were scared. I want to see ICE deporting another 10 million people, all right? Look, I would like I'm being realistic. I would like 10 million, all right? Being realistic. All right, just trying to be honest. I would like that. That would be sick. So,
I don't think that's going to happen.
I think ICE is based as fuck, and I think anyone that tries their absolute best to stop ICE needs to go to jail. That's my opinion. So, yeah, no, that's where we're at.
Them are pro law enforcement. They believe that law enforcement should actually get the training that they deserve and they need. Hold on, I'm not done.
This guy had training.
Wow.
Hold on, yes.
Dude, she's been yapping for like, I'm not done. He's been very patient. I mean, he obviously Nux paused it as well. 222, 253. Yeah, it's like she's talked like 45 seconds straight.
He was dragged by a car last summer. They call them the Gestapo, so
maybe less than that, maybe 30.
They call them Nazis.
Why?
You forgot to mention denaturalize and deport? Yeah, but that's not really ICE.
Is it one rule for ICE? And why is it another?
Well, no. It's the denaturalization occurs, and then ICE can deport.
For the Capitol Police or the Republican Party. Can you answer that question?
What are we talking about rules? What are we talking about? Who said that the Capitol Police, who is saying that the Capitol Police shouldn't enforce the law? Literally no one has said this. This is not like a two sides thing. We have the Democrats literally weaponizing the entire retard community of the country on the far left. All right, the retard community has been activated, and these absolute piece of trash retards are all trying their absolute best to stop ICE from arresting and deporting illegal aliens, which is their job, as it should be. Oh my god, dude. Almost everyone on the right condemns January 6th. Get out of here.
I have the same rule for all law enforcement. I think we should respect all law enforcement. Well, you all have select one day a year.
When did the administration disrespect the law enforcement on January 6th?
A year you like the cops.
Well, look,
the other 364 days.
Well, when they stomp their head in.
That is not the Democratic position.
Literally is the Democratic position. Straight facts, that's exactly what it is. There's no other perspective. It's literally that simple. And here we have complete retard Jacob Frey saying, well, we're Democrats, we're anti-crime.
And so, you know, as Democrats, we got to be very clear-eyed. We are anti-crime. We are pro-safety.
We're anti-crime, we're pro-safety.
He just said, ICE, get the fuck out of Minnesota.
Anyway, let's all obstruct law enforcement from arresting people. Let's light shit on fire and
Like
do riots
today,
and
he
stuff.
said that,
like, it's
or
crazy
yesterday.
that we need to do this. I think the first time I heard him speak in English. But, like, it's ridiculous that we need to even make believe this. Right? The Somalis are going to eat your ass, all right? Fry. The Somalis are going to eat you, brother. All right? They're going to eat you. Now, you want to know something pretty diabolical? And this is going to be a little controversial. Do you see all these protests? You see all these riots? You see all these absolute freaks in the streets? No Somalis. Did you notice? Somalis don't give a fuck about you. Oh my god. Imagine dying for the Somalis.
Oh, that's a good
Bro,
observation.
absolute cinema. It's so sad. So the leftist crash outs keep getting worse.
A woman just got shot in the fucking face. Not only was she shot in the fucking face trying to... First of all, if any man tries to reach into my car, I'm driving the fuck away.
The woman that stabbed
You're
herself
probably
in the face
gonna
12
end up
times
shot.
has something to say.
First of all. Second of all...
Right, it's misogyny for men to arrest women. Great point.
The most agitating part about all of this are dumb, stupid-ass, fucking orange-ass, retarded-ass fucking president.
She said retarded.
There you go, right there. Orange man bad syndrome. Like, come on.
Needs to go to woke jail.
Up on there like, oh, she was trying to run him over.
She literally was.
She wasn't.
This can't be happening! This can't be happening! And people want
Let's
to
go, dude. This meltdown was promised to me 3,000 years ago.
for fucking dick riding this fucking retarded ass agency! Dude, anyone with a brain! Video! Nobody got run over!
Those...
And we have
Yeah,
Oh, SSRIs? SSRIs?
thank God, because he shot her.
president fucking spreading even more propaganda. This whole entire administration is literally functioning off propaganda.
We have to deal with these people. They vote. These people vote. I bet she doesn't pay taxes, but she definitely votes. Bro, it's crazy. Now, the woke
She
are
probably
eating each other
doesn't.
alive. Now, if you've watched my content long enough, you know that I do like crazy Trump crash outs. Those are awesome. All right, capturing Maduro, that was the greatest moment of the year so far. It's been amazing. Now, that said, there is one thing that I like just as much, and that is retard on retard violence. So while the left is going on all these crash out, you know, they're all doing the say her name, the name of the woman that was killed, whose name I don't even remember because unfortunately she was probably the most irrelevant person that ever lived. It's sad, don't get me wrong, it's sad
Jesus.
she died for absolute nothingness. It's really tragic. It's unbelievable that, you know, God put her in this world and she decided to squander the gift of life by dying to try to kill an ICE agent and save some Somalis. Now, the reality is, my favorite thing is the retard on retard violence. Are you ready for what we're about to see?
It's usually pretty
All right,
entertaining.
So this lady dies. Everyone's chanting, say her name, okay? But the woke black community, now don't get me wrong, the based black community, they're like, fuck yeah, good thing you shot her. She was trying to kill him. The woke black community, holy shit, it's amazing.
Hey, so I'm not trying to be rude at all, but say her name is specifically reserved for black women. That chant started as a direct,
Yeah.
and I remember because
Say her name is
For
like
who?
the N-word. Only blacks could say it.
organizer at the time,
That's a big...
it started in the early days of the Black Lives Matter protests.
Right.
I mean, like Trayvon Martin early days,
Yeah, back when the scams were
Oh, was
known
it,
to man.
when black women who were also being victimized to poop.
Oh my gosh. In the no-knock raid? Is it her? Was that the first one?
Police brutality,
Wow.
like Sandra Bland, like Rakia Boyd.
Yeah, anyway.
Not
this
those,
dude
I was
is
thinking
now
of a different one.
This dude is now canceling leftists that are saying, say her name, about the leftist that got killed because the cop was acting in self-defense. And the reason why this happened, and this guy's canceling them for saying say her name, because say her name is supposed to only be used for black women that were murdered by police, not white women that were murdered by police. Absolute cinema. This is literally the greatest timeline of all time. Holy shit. It's amazing. Bro. Isn't it incredible that we live with these people? Isn't it amazing?
Oh, Breonna Taylor. Oh my God.
I'll be real. Say her name is for black women. The left is eating itself alive. Dude, it's incredible.
That's what I was trying to remember.
So anyway, Vance apparently went nuclear. So lock in, boys and girls. We're about to watch the Vance crash out of all time.
Fully behind the heroic men and women of ICE and will always uphold law and order in the United States of America. The deadly incident that took place in Minnesota yesterday occurred as a result of a larger, sinister, left-wing movement that has spread across our country, where our brave men and women of federal law enforcement are under organized attack.
True. Arrest them all.
Now, immigration and customs enforcement officers are facing a
All right, so hear me out. This isn't Israel's fault. It is, obviously. Hassan already blamed Israel. Hear me out. All right, we get ICE officers with trank gun sniper rifles on rooftops, and every single person that blocks a car or stands in front just gets tranked. And you know, they'll wake up in like, you know, a good 6 hours after the trank gun, and just see what happens. I don't know. Move on from there. That's my opinion.
1,200% increase in assaults, a 3,200% increase in vehicle rammings, and an 8,000% increase in death threats. ICE agents are faithfully enforcing federal law to protect the safety of the American people by removing criminal illegal aliens from our...
Someone in my chat just said they should have like estrogen and testosterone trank darts, so that the more times the same protesters get tranked, the more their genders change.
The more their genders. That's diabolical.
All right, anyway, moving on.
That's diabolical.
Which is exactly what nearly 80 million Americans elected President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance to do.
This is laying the ground to the insurrection. It's happening. There is this is going to happen. Now, can we have an 8,000% increase in arrests, please?
Radicals in the Democrat Party are furious over this. They don't want our border secured or criminal illegal aliens being removed. As a result, Democrats are impeding immigration enforcement operations daily, creating extremely heightened and dangerous circumstances that make it nearly impossible for the men and women of law enforcement to simply do their jobs.
That's right.
Democrats are...
Again, we should not even be treating this as a possible, like, difference of opinion, all right? You lost the election. Your opinion is irrelevant, all right? The reality is, vote harder next time. Vote harder, you bitches. You lost. It's over. They're doing their job. You don't have the right to stop them. Your opinion is invalid and retarded, and you need to go to jail.
Calling to defund federal law enforcement agencies who are protecting public safety. And Democrats are calling to abolish ICE and defund the police. That will never be allowed to happen under this president and vice president. The Trump administration will redouble our efforts to get the worst of the worst, criminal illegal alien killers, rapists, and pedophiles off of American streets.
I mean, to be fair, the left is the party of the pedophiles. I don't know if you're aware. Like, all these guys support Hamas, pedophiles. You got all these guys on the Epstein list, pedophiles. You know, I'm not trying to be controversial. I'm not trying to be controversial or anything, but they're grooming kids to fucking cut their cocks off. All right. Look, I'll be real. Yeah. There's pedophiles on both sides, but it's a 95-5 split. All right, I'll be real. All the pedophile policies are on the left.
It's worse than that.
Homeland Security will continue to operate on the ground in Minnesota.
It's more like a 98-2 split.
Not only to remove criminal illegal aliens, but also to continue conducting door-to-door investigations of the rampant fraud that has taken place in the state under the failed and corrupt leadership of Democrat Governor Tim Walz. Taxpayers have been ripped off to the tune of billions of dollars in this one state alone. And that is going to end, and people are going to be held accountable. The Trump administration has activated thousands of federal agents, doubled the number of U.S. attorneys in the DOJ office in Minneapolis, and surged resources to hold fraudsters accountable and demand justice for law-abiding American taxpayers and citizens across our country.
That's right.
And that's what brings the vice president out here with me.
All right, I'm going to be campaigning on this forever, okay? I'm going to be campaigning on this. My hot take is you should not have the right to vote if you don't pay taxes. If you don't pay taxes, you don't have the right to vote. I give money to the government, and you, who don't give money to the government, get to vote how the government gives my money to you? That's the campaign. We're pushing this shit. If you don't pay taxes, you don't get to vote. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I'm tired. This is not happening. We got to fix this shit.
Today,
I think that's
all the
fair.
Trump administration is doing and to make an additional
You know, all these unemployed retard cat women that literally are destroying our country.
important announcement on this front. So please, Mr. Vice President, will be joining us now.
All right, so this was apparently a twist. No one knew this was happening. We shouldn't be paying taxes in the first place, true, but, you know, little by little.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah,
Good
one step
afternoon,
at a time.
everybody. And I want to echo some of what Carolyn
that
said
sound?
about what we're doing to combat
camera.
the rampant fraud that exists in our immigration system, thanks to failed politicians and thanks to people who allowed the American taxpayer to be taken advantage of for far
Is he taking one photo every half second?
too long. I think it's important to understand
Bro, what is that sound?
why this matters to the American people. I am a father of 3 young kids, a lot of kids, a lot of people in my
It's such bad ear feels.
generation. What is that going on there?
Oh, it's on their end. I thought it was in the broadcast. It's on their
Oh
end.
no, you're good.
Okay, CNN installed this broken camera just to throw me off my game, but it's not
Oh.
gonna work.
There it is.
Oh,
JD,
funny.
48, JD. It's not gonna. Leftoids think they're gonna win the next election. Oh, how wrong they are.
Here's the simple fact here. If you're a young parent struggling to afford childcare in the United States of America, there are programs that we have to make it easier for your kids to get in daycare, for your kids to get in preschool. Those programs should go to American citizens, not be defrauded by Somali immigrants and others. Make it hard for you to get the access to the resources you need. Number 2, making it easier for people who shouldn't even be in this country to fleece the United States and our taxpayers to begin with. We have actually activated a major interagency task force to make it possible to get to the heart of this fraud. We have Department of Agriculture.
Dude, I want to see politicians arrested. All right, I'll be real. I've been saying this the whole time. I want to see one
And-
politician fucking
Arrested and tarred and feathered.
arrested, and I think Tim Walz might be the first. I think it's gonna happen because
He
they're pushing
might
his
be,
buttons.
honestly.
Dude, I don't think people realize how pissed off Trump is. If Trump was able to just steal Maduro in middle of the night, this dude is gonna fucking Delta Force the shit out of these bastards. It's gonna happen. You're gonna see. All right? Maybe I'm coping, but you have to stop blackpilling. We're kidnapping El Presidentes and you're blackpilling. We are stealing El Presidentes and you're blackpilling. We're taking Russian oil tankers and you're blackpilling.
Resources that are
Trump called him retarded and you're blackpilling?
focused on SNAP fraud so that people who need food benefits can get them, but illegal aliens and other fraudsters don't. We have over 1,500 subpoenas that the Department of Justice has issued to get to the heart of the fraud ring. We've done almost 100 indictments, mostly Somali immigrants, but also a few.
Whoa, it's racist to mention that a group of people with 67 IQ are scamming us.
And of course, we're looking in with broad investigatory authority to a number of the instances of wrongdoing that we've seen in Minneapolis. But we also want to expand this. We know that the fraud isn't just happening in Minneapolis,
right.
It's also happening
And get all the frauds, all the disability frauds, all the SNAP frauds,
Like I've said,
all the fraud.
I'm terrified to learn what the number is in like California or New York.
All the frauds, get them.
States like Ohio. It's happening in states like California. And so what we're doing in order to help coordinate this remarkable interagency effort from the Trump administration, but also to make sure that we prosecute the bad guys and do it as swiftly as possible.
Use Delta
we
Force.
are creating a new Assistant Attorney General position.
Damn. All right.
Will have nationwide jurisdiction over the issue of fraud. Now, of course, that person's efforts will start and focus primarily in Minnesota, but it is going to be a nationwide effort because unfortunately, the American people have been defrauded in a very nationwide way.
So I'm paying taxes and that shit's going to Somalia? I don't think so, baby.
I think a couple of people for the
Well,
cooperation, particular
the worst
Pam
part
Bondi.
is that they did confirm that it was going to Al-Shabaab, so it's like an Al-Qaeda affiliate, like leaving the bad enough, right? It's going to other countries, other territories, other nations, whatever, and then it's like, oh, even worse than that would be like a rival nation or a dictatorial regime, and then even worse than that is like ISIS and Al-Qaeda affiliates.
our Attorney General, first of all, for getting a lot of resources to Minneapolis to start to investigate and prosecute this fraud, really at an industrial scale. We've never seen fraud like this in the history of our country.
I mean, I think there's been fraud for a while. It's just kind of been sneaky, weaky. And under Biden, I think they were able to just get away with everything.
Yeah, I think they ramped it up.
I think it was like a two-tier system. Like, on the one hand, they imported infinite illegals, all right? On the one hand, they imported infinite illegals. On the other hand, they gave them billions of dollars. So you got billions of dollars going to the illegals so they can import them to vote for us. Well, to vote for them, rather.
Doing a great job to get the resources there to uncover it. But importantly, creating a job like this often takes months, sometimes even longer. When we realized that we needed this Associate Attorney General position, Pam got this person up and running in about a week. We're going to make the nomination hopefully in the next few days. We'll obviously
it's going to be Marco Rubio.
To let you guys know who that is.
Marco Rubio is now both the Secretary of State, the Presidente of Venezuela, the Shah of Iran, and the new Governor Attorney General guy.
Do it. I've talked to Senate Majority Leader John Thune, who has promised me swift confirmation for this official, but this is the person who is going to make sure that we stop defrauding the American people. And here's one final thing.
Bro, it's going to be Asmongold. You're going to see it's going to turn around and it's going to be this guy wiping tooth blood on his wall. And it's going to be like, yeah, put them all in a box.
Thing I'll say about this. I've heard a lot of people say that we need a special counsel to investigate fraud in the United States of America. I actually agree, and that's what this position does. It has all the benefits, all the resources, all the authority of a special counsel, but with two crucial differences. Number one, it will be run out of the White House under the supervision of me and the President of the United States.
Good
and number
shit.
two, it's
Damn.
actually constitutionally legitimate. As you guys may know, the special counsel statute has some major constitutional questions. When we get the bad guys, we want to make sure we get them permanently and they don't have some legal technicality they can get out of, which is why we set it up as an Associate Attorney General. I'll take some
They're just gonna get like Nick Shirley to do it.
questions, but I want to make just one
Visit every Leering Center.
final observation here. When I was actually walking out here, somebody sent me a photo of a CNN headline about what happened in Minneapolis. And this is the headline. I'm just going to read it. Outrage after ICE officer kills U.S. citizen in Minneapolis. Well, that's one way to put it, and that is the way that many people in the corporate media have put this attack over the last 24 hours. And I say attack very, very intentionally, because this was an attack on federal law enforcement. This was an attack on law and order. This was an attack on the American people. The way that the media...
I agree that she was, you know, especially with information that's come out, she was clearly there to cause trouble and to instigate and impede and obstruct, right? Obviously. But to call it an attack, I think, is going a step too far. I mean, you could characterize her hitting him with her bumper as an attack, but I genuinely don't believe... I feel like I'm weird in the sense that I think that the police officer was justified in shooting. I wish it hadn't happened. I wish they could have de-escalated, but I also think that she was not trying to hit him. I think she was probably so focused on the guy at her window. We can't see. We don't know if she was hand fighting with him or anything like that. I wouldn't be surprised if she had not even known that the officer who ended up shooting her was in front of her until, like, she made contact or as she was starting to already move forward. I really wouldn't. Now, especially given his past where he was hit before and he was injured before by a car, I feel like I now would give him more leeway, having already experienced a situation very similarly. And then we also have to remember that they were all parties involved were pumped full of adrenaline. They were nervous. She was almost certainly panicked, right? And you do not do your best thinking when you are panicked. And at the end of the day, I think it boils down to the rhetoric coming from the left that is painting anything and everything that Trump does, whether it's directly involved or just tangentially involved as fascist and Naziist and fucking authoritarian, white supremacist, all this stuff, they're literally priming all of these susceptible people and just they're preying on fear, and they're programming them into these protesting robots that genuinely think that they're doing right when they go and try to block a road, or they go and they harass ICE agents who are trying to do their lawful duty, like, as we understand it, right? And I blame people like Tim Waltz. I blame people like Hassan Piker. I blame people like Destiny. I blame people like Ilhan Omar. I think it's so counterproductive and it's so disingenuous not to act like that is the result of the things that they say when they constantly reiterate over and over and over, like subhuman, Nazi, fascist, authoritarian, like they just overuse these words. And yeah, the most susceptible of left-leaning people are going to buy into that, and they're going to go chase these protests, and they're going to end up getting themselves or other people hurt. And it's fucked up because they do it for clicks, they do it for clout, they do it to get attention, they do it to feel like they have some sort of influence in the world. It's the most selfish thing. Because I don't know about all of them, but you know, I know some of them 100% don't believe the fucking bullshit that they spit.
By and large, has reported this story, has been an absolute disgrace.
And that shouldn't shock you.
And it puts our law enforcement officers at risk every single day. What that headline leaves out is the fact that that very ICE officer nearly had his life ended, dragged by a car 6 months ago, 33 stitches in his leg. So you think maybe he's a little bit sensitive about somebody ramming him with an automobile? What that headline leaves out is that that woman was there to interfere with a legitimate law enforcement operation in the United States of America. What that headline leaves out is that that woman is part of a broader left-wing network to attack, to dox, to assault, and to make it impossible for
Again, I don't know how coordinated this network is, but he's completely right.
It's very coordinated.
Their job. If the media wants to tell the truth, they ought to tell the truth that a group of left-wing radicals have been working tirelessly, sometimes using domestic terror techniques to try to make it impossible for the President of the United States to do.
And like everything, my position is don't treat the symptom, treat the cause. So what's causing these people to become radicalized? What's causing them to become so scared just in their day-to-day life that they think that this is necessary? It's retards saying stupid shit, mostly on the internet, mostly coming from people like Hassan Piker, like Destiny, like Mike from PA. Just absolute brain dead, indefensible bullshit 80% of the time.
The American people elected him to do, which is enforce our immigration laws.
That's
the
right.
President stands with ICE. I stand with ICE. We stand with all of our law enforcement officers. And part of that is recognizing that you people in the media, not everybody in this room, but many people in this room have been lying about this attack.
True. And lying about the attack is literally just done to get more people angry, to get more people on the streets, to get more attacks to happen.
Yeah.
Every single one of these people that dies is literally just ammunition for these retards.
He was trying to ram this guy with his
No,
with
she
her
wasn't.
car.
I don't think she was.
Shot back. He defended himself. He's already been seriously wounded.
I think he defended himself. I don't think she was trying to run him over.
In law enforcement operations before, and everybody who's been repeating the lie that this is some innocent woman who was out for a drive in Minneapolis when a law enforcement officer shot at her, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Every single one of you. Questions?
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I wanted to read a quote from Tim.
Oh my God, he's gonna literally rip these people to shreds.
Today, he said, when things looked bleak, it was Minnesota's first that held the line for the nation on July 3rd, 1863, and I think we may be in that moment now. Can you comment on his rhetoric and Mayor Jacob Fry and whether they want to see unrest in Minneapolis?
Well, that's
so
very tough
problematic
rhetoric from a guy who just quit because his fraudulent activities have been uncovered. Look, his entire administration has been a joke. The idea that he's some sort of freedom fighter, he's not. He's enabled fraud and maybe in fact has participated in fraud. That's what his new assistant attorney general position is going to find out. I don't care what Tim Walz says. I care about getting to the bottom of this fraud for the American people, and I care about enforcing the nation's immigration laws. That's what we're going to stay focused on.
A related question here. I mean, Democrats have accused ICE of murder. They've said they're targeting Americans. They've told ICE to get the F out of Minnesota. This is going to stoke the fire against ICE agents, and you're talking about ICE agents right now and being concerned about them. What, if anything, is the administration going to do to make sure these folks are protected during these protests? But also, should DHS sort of revisit their procedures here? I mean, nobody wants to see an American killed. Are there changes that need to be made to make sure something like this doesn't happen again?
Look, first of all, of course, nobody wants an American citizen.
It's such a retarded, like every single person that frames this question is completely retarded. It's unbelievable.
And to be killed, this is absolutely a tragedy, but it's a tragedy of the making of the far left. They have radicalized.
Guys, stop driving into ICE officers. You know, it'll increase your lifespan dramatically.
A very small segment of the population taught them that ICE agents are engaging in wide-scale violation of people's rights. What our ICE officers are doing is deporting the millions of criminal aliens that were let in during the Biden administration. So number one, we have to say, as a matter of leadership, and I would appreciate if the Democrats would join me on this, let's be honest about the fact that we have way too many illegal aliens in this country. Our ICE officers should be supported in doing their
hot take, one is too many. Get them all out, every single one, all of them.
Job. You're trying to actually marshal
man.
far-left lunatic friend.
It's like Nux is me if you shift me like 3 positions right and then turn it up to 11.
Rifles
to
with trank
engage
guns.
in doxing, to try to make it impossible for them to enforce the law, and in some cases...
Dude, why are we not arresting the people that are obstructing justice? It's like tiring, dude. Oh my God. They try to stop an ICE officer, they're breaking the law. You arrest them, you put them in a hole, and you figure it out. Oh my God, the doxers, all of these guys, come on, dude.
To engage in acts of domestic terror.
The judges let them out. Figure it out, okay? Figure it out. Put them in alligator Alcatraz. I don't care.
Terrorism against,
you know, call up the Insurrection Act. Don't care.
Our law enforcement officers. When you talk about different plans,
Delta Force the fucking judges. Delta Force the judges, bro.
Different protocols, different policies. I forget exactly how you asked the question. Here's the simple fact. What we're going to do is make it easier for the American People's Administration to enforce the American People's law. And that means that Democrats have to stop rallying the mob against legitimate law enforcement operations. And that means that we are going to get tougher, and that's what this AAG position is about. We're going to get tougher at the people who are defrauding the United States.
I want to see it happen.
Inciting
Let's see if it
violence
happens.
Against
I think the most recent confirmed number is 10 billion. Maybe it was 12, but somewhere in there.
Let's see. I hope it happens.
That's what we're going to do. We've already started that work at the Department of Justice, but we're going to keep on doing it, and this new AAG position is going to kick that into high gear.
Vice President Vance, you just suggested that this woman who was killed, Renee Good, is part of a broader left-wing network.
Dude, why are we making believe this isn't like a thing? Okay, dude, they're the same Karens at every fucking protest. Yeah. Why was Renee Good in Minneapolis when she's from Missouri? She drove 5 hours to obstruct.
Well, no, she's from Colorado Springs, and then she was living in Kansas City with, you know, the Missouri license plate, not the Kansas City side of, because there's that whole weird delineation there. And then I think she was up there with her wife, right? Because I think that's her wife who gets out of the passenger. There's a new angle that shows her wife getting out to go film as she is like parking across the road because they want to capture the moment. Because I don't know, relationship goals or something.
Obstruct ICE.
After this question, once they kind of get to a point, I'll pause and do like the last third of this video.
And you're telling me that it was random? Get out of here.
What do you think is behind this broader left-wing network?
Well, it's one of the things we're going to have to figure out, but here's the way that I put it. When somebody throws a brick at an ICE agent, or somebody tries to run over an ICE agent, who paid for the brick? And who told protesters to show up and engage in violent activity against our law enforcement officers? You see, just with this most recent terrible incident in Minneapolis, you see friends of this woman's or other people who are eyewitnesses saying basically that she was there to engage in obstruction of a
Also, you're forgetting something really important here. She was also a gay retard.
legitimate law enforcement operation. How did she get there? How did she learn about this?
True.
There's an entire network, and frankly, some of the media are participating in it, that is trying to incite violence against our law enforcement officers. It's ridiculous, it's preposterous, and part of our investigatory work is getting to the bottom of it. Who's funding it? Who's supporting it? Who's cheerleading it? And of course, if there's illegal activity.
I feel like this is an open secret though, right? Like, obviously, like, George Soros is probably the biggest name associated with it, but I mean, obviously, yeah, investigate it, look into it, figure it out. Like, I don't understand how these people can afford to show up at multiple rallies across the country and people still don't understand that there's paid protesting going on, you know? Where you're like, no, we've seen, like Nick Shirley did it, where he's like, oh, this is the lady I saw here and here. Nice. And you're just like, yeah, she's not working. Like, what are these people doing? And it's like they just closed the schools for 3 days or whatever, initially. Now it's a month, I think. But they closed schools for like 3 days in Minneapolis. And the real reason is so that the parents don't have to worry about their kids and they can just go protest. Like, specifically for that. Like, Tim Walz wants this because it's distracting from his fucking fraud scheme that he was responsible for, because as we've seen now, there have been numerous whistleblowers and they were not given the correct protections. They were being threatened and intimidated, and there's no way that Tim Walz is not directly involved. And that's why he's scared, and that's why he is using this. This is probably a godsend to him, so that he can try to use this to go out and look like he's this firebrand revolutionary. And then as soon as that happens, everybody on the left is just going to assume like, oh, no, like, it was trumped up charges, it wasn't any fair, that's our guy. And instead of going out as the biggest national embarrassment of a governor of all time, which he is.
Related to that, we're going to get to the bottom of that and prosecute it where we can.
And the state I live in has a Democratic governor, and I voted for him. So this is not a left-wing, right-wing bias thing either. Tim Walz is a fucking retard.
Thank you for taking questions today. Is there a risk with you describing her as...
I'll end it there. Yeah, Tim Walz is a fucking retard. Cut to black. Boom. Done. Nice.